Poland we have this proverb, we can say, that suffering makes you more noble, makes you better person. Well, I don't agree with that. And I have this feeling that it's not your truth as well, isn't it? You're not agree with this?
Well, I think suffering has many faces, just like love, and sometimes it can make us more mature, and being more mature can make us even more noble or more wise.
Oh.
But on the other hand, it's not that I support suffering just in order to suffer. But I've learned through my own life and the life of many people I know and many books I've read that suffering is not necessarily negative, and pain or bull is not necessarily negative. Sometimes you learn a lot from it, and sometimes it is necessary in order to develop, in order to grow up.
Yes, well, that's somehow true.
But I don't want you to suffer. I promise.
I don't want no one to suffer. You're writing about emotions, and I think when we think about your books, it's what first came to mind: emotional situations, emotional people, emotions. But don't you have this impression that nowadays what is the most emotional is unfortunately politics?
Well, I don't think so.
No.
Not really. Maybe because my experience is full with this struggle between emotional politics and trying to keep the intimate private life in between. So maybe this is why for me it's a completely different experience, because I come from such a political country, and politics in Israel is so aggressive and so dominant, and it's all over the place. But I've learned to live and to describe the emotional world and the human soul behind all the political turbulence. And I can say that even in times of war, and even in times of very dramatic political events, the family life, the emotional life, the private, intimate life is usually much more interesting and much more important.
So we can learn a lot from being emotional. We should not be afraid of our emotions, never hide them. No, that's what makes us human. Yeah.
Yes, I think that if we are aware to our emotions and we don't try to hide them, and we try to feel the truth, not to hide, and not to ignore, then, well, we have a lot to learn. Not only from our emotions, but from the emotions of the people around us, and even the emotions of the country that we live in.
And what are the emotions of Israel now? Today?
Well, actually, I have more hope than I used to have.
Really?
Yes, but I'm not sure I will convince you, but
try.
I will try, because last year I joined a group of very brave Israeli women, and we call ourselves Women Wage Peace, and it is a very, very beautiful movement, because it invites almost everyone to participate. So women from the left and women from the right, and Palestinian women and Israeli Arab, and we have so many different opinions, but we believe that the peace or the agreement that may be achieved is much more important than our own opinions, and I think it works so well, and I have this hope that maybe it will be like in Liberia, where women managed to stop the fight, to stop the conflict.
They refused to...
They no, not exactly like Lizzie Strata, but yes, women were very active in the process of solving the problems.
Mm-hmm. Somehow you're very convincing, because when I'm thinking about the situation here in Poland, I'm not sure if you're aware what's going on here, but nowadays women in Poland, well, they started to behave a little bit like Israeli women. I mean, they started to be very active, and they are fighting for their rights, and it's really the
wonderful.
Era of women, I must admit. And look at United States as well.
Yes,
isn't it like that? So?
Yes, I'm very encouraged by all those developments. I've nothing against men in general, but I still feel that the female voice should be heard more loud, and I think that women have a special talent to solve conflicts, and I think we should be more active in trying to solve conflicts.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, and it makes me
glad.
stronger, when I hear it from you, and
Thank you.
it's really great. Going back to your book, Pain, that's the title of your latest book. It's here it's written almost like in Hebrew, Hebrew letters, but it's like that. There are many things in this book that they are striking me, but what strikes me the most is, I think, the moment the main character is thinking about her growing up children and her contact with her son, which in this context we've been talking about a minute before, about a woman's role in a modern world. It makes me think that it's so important how what's our contact with our sons, how we grew them up.
And especially in Israel, when you have a baby boy, you immediately start to worry what will happen 18 years from now. And I experienced it when my son was born. I started to worry the minute I realized that it's a boy, because time passes so fast, and we always look at our babies and we think, well, in 18 years we will have peace. He will not have to go to the army. But then, after it feels like few seconds, and he goes to the army, and it is so frightening, and it's really difficult to be a mother in Israel, a mother of a son in Israel. And also there are all the other missions of being a mother to a boy, to try to make him more sensitive and more soft in many ways, but then he pays a price with his tough environment and friends. So yes, I have this automatic identity with women, of course, but on the other hand, after being a mother to 2 sons, I can see the difficulties of being a man, especially in modern life, on the one hand, and in a machoistic country like Israel on the other hand. It's a complex mission. Yes.
That's a lot of those thoughts we can read in your book. Especially there's this one very special moment when Iris, when she looks at the tableau with
Yes,
names
yes.
of the war heroes.
Because she lost her father in
Yeah.
the war, and it ruined her life in many ways. And when she sees the name of the father, and she can imagine the name of her son, in a few years, to join them, to join this awful list, of course, it is so tragic. Raising children in this with the knowledge that our time with them is so limited, because the state might take them and they will not be ours anymore, and they might be killed or injured, and there is nothing we can do.
She's asking herself, Hebrew language, are we dying for you? And I wanted to ask you about what does it mean, this Hebrew language, for you? You as a woman, as a mother, as a writer, as a citizen of Israeli.
Yes, sometimes when I feel uncomfortable with my country, and I think about this enormous effort of establishing the country, the state of Israel, and the price that we pay every day in order to keep the country and to save the country, sometimes it seems like Sisyphic, and I think what is it for? And I feel that the state of Israel has to exist. I mean, we cannot go back to the situation
without it.
Without it, of course, it's a completely necessary state. But still, from time to time, when I think about the price, and when I think that sometimes Jews in Europe are more safe than Jews in Israel in times of war and awful terror attacks, so I wonder. Why? What can justify this? The victims, our young boys that are that fight in the wars, and some of them never come back. What can justify this sorrow, this endless sorrow, endless tragedy? So, I try to find answers, and one of the answers that I mentioned in the book was the Hebrew language, because, it's the only country on earth where we can speak Hebrew. And language is history. Language is the soul of the country. Language is the inspiration of the country. I mean, maybe I only feel like this because I'm a writer. I don't know, but for me the language is very important.
And dreams, are they important for you? Because Iris, she's dreaming. I mean, she's dreaming about different life, different paths. Maybe she didn't choose. And what about you and your dreams? Are they important for you?
I think I never experienced this romantic dream of Iris. I think that when I was writing this novel, I was more inspired by the story of my mother. She was a war widow, and she used to talk all the time about about her husband, who was not my father. She had me only 10 years later.
Okay.
And she married my father later, but the mythological love of her youth was, in many ways, he was between us all the time, and she had this dream of meeting him again, even though he was dead, of course. But her life together with him was completely cut in such a cruel way. And I think that this story influenced my life in so many ways, and it inspired this book, the fact that this mythological love is stronger than the present, stronger than the future.
You consider it as a dangerous thing, or?
Yes, for me it was for me personally it was a bit dangerous, because I always felt that I owe my life to his death. And she suffers so much, and I enjoy it because I got his life in many ways. So it was kind of paradoxical situation, very complex for a little child, and I think I was inspired by it. But my dreams are not so focused, I think, like Iris's. Well, I dream about peace. I mean, peace became kind of personal dream for me, more and more, because I feel that it's really unbelievable that we cannot achieve peace, because I feel that most of Israelis and most of the Palestinians, the simple people, want to achieve peace, and somehow between the leaderships and all the extremists, they don't let us fulfill our dream. So yes, I dream about peace that will come from the people, not from the leaders, and I want to be part of it. And what do I dream about? Well, I had this very strong dream about adopting a child, and I made it. So I'm very happy that I could do it, and I dream about my next novel from time to time.
Well, it could be dangerous dream, especially when you know that writer's block are waiting for you. Or don't you have them, maybe?
No, I think I'm lucky. I don't have writer's block. I have other problems.
Okay.
I have many problems. Don't envy me.
Please, with us.
Don't envy me. But I think that I'm lucky, because writing is very natural for me. Since I remember myself. I started to write when I was 6, and since then it's natural, just like breathing, and it's usually very fluent, and it's not a huge effort for me. There is something in my genes. It's a gift. It's not
definitely.
yes, but on the other hand, somehow my life don't, well, maybe it's my fault, I guess, but I don't, there are so many interferences, and I'm not strong enough to take my time and to say no to life or no to the world.
All right.
So I always say, okay, tomorrow I will go back to writing. Today I just have to finish this and that and that, and it never comes. So this is my problem with writing, that I don't
living.
Yes, yes.
That's but
life interferes.
Yeah,
what
life
can
totally.
we do?
Yes. What can we do? But you're not on Facebook.
No.
Thanks God, don't do it. Never.
I know.
Never.
I know.
Don't go there. It's it's like Dante's hell. Really.
Yes.
Zeruya, so thank you very much for your visit here in Book. It was a pleasure for me. I'm waiting for your new book, and well, what shall I wish you? A beautiful dream. So, what?
Well, wish me more time for writing.
Okay.
I will be very, very grateful for this.
From the deep of my heart, I wish you that.
Thank you.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
so glad
Thank
to
you.
see you again.
Thanks.
Thank you.